Hello and welcome to the debrief. It's Dave O'Neill singing in a car in Perth, here for the Fringe. Never had this guy on the podcast before. It's the fabulous Ray O'Leary.
No, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I can see why you say people get freaked out by this.
Yeah, because I'm holding a mic and driving. Yeah, Arch Barker got freaked out. We'll be right, don't worry. We're in Perth. It's bloody frontier town, Perth. Have you been here before?
I've been here twice before, actually. I did the Fringe last year, and then I did a one night return show. So I've been.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Where'd you do that?
I did it at the Rechabite, actually. But
okay.
Which is
yes,
which interesting venue for comedy. I think it's good if you've packed it out as the
right. One of those.
Yes. I think
so. I'm picking you didn't pack it out.
Yeah. It's one of those ones. It's like it feels like a tall tower, and there's just a huge roof, and it felt like a music venue,
I want to. Where are we? Mayland. We're just done a gig at the great. What's it called? Seasonal Brewing Company.
Yes.
And I want to show you this joint that I drove past. I want to go there, but we won't go there now.
Is this the Italian?
Yeah, it's called Leo's. I love old school. You're from Auckland, aren't you?
Yeah.
I love the Green Parrot in Auckland.
Oh, yes.
Have you been there?
Yeah, always. Yeah.
It's down in an industrial area, and it's like a diner.
Yeah.
And it's open late.
Yeah.
And we only went there because I was there for the Lord of the Rings movie. No. I wasn't in it, but I was interviewing people for the radio. Oh. And Viggo Mortensen said he loved the Green Parrot Diner.
Do you mean the one in Wellington, the Green Parrot?
Sorry, Wellington.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
I'm glad you picked that up.
Yes. No, because I know the cafe. It's a famous one.
Yeah, it's got a mural, a really badly drawn mural. And you're like, who the fuck's that meant to be? Oh, that's Tom Cruise. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Wellington. Of course, I was in Wellington.
Yes. No, but that's where I started doing comedy. So I lived there for years.
Now look at this place. It's called Leo's.
I thought you were putting out the IGA for us.
Look at this joint. That's fantastic.
It looks so old school.
Leo's Dine and Takeaway.
Old cartoon line from the 80s.
Yeah.
Looks like a breakfast cereal mascot.
Closed. Italian schnitzel, seafood, pizza, chicken, fish and chips, home deliveries. They've fucking got everything covered, I've got to say.
BYO? Oh, alcohol, of course.
I love that joint. I want to go there. I might go there
Looks
tomorrow.
Delicious.
I'll pick you up at 10. This is a kind of a cool place. Collapsing Indian Canteen. Okay, so you've been to the Green Parrot.
Yes, I've been to the Green Parrot. Yeah. It's
Why did you start comedy in
Wellington?
How many gigs were in Wellington?
There, when I started, there were like 2 weekly open mics. There's one of them is still going. It's like it claims to be the longest gig outside of the Classic, the comedy club in Auckland.
I've done the Classic, yeah.
So it claims to be the longest running gig outside of that in New Zealand. And a few people have started there, like Paul Williams, who's on Taskmaster. A few people had their start at this Raw Meat gig. But
it's a great city, Wellington.
Yeah, I love it. And
I love Wellington.
It's sort of... Guy Montgomery had the joke of saying Melbourne was like Australia's little slice of Wellington. And those cities, I think Wellington's sort of a mix of Canberra and Melbourne, of like having the well-to-do public servants, and then also it's quite an artsy-fartsy, So it was actually quite a nice place to start because the audiences were always so supportive. And
we had a great time, and we went there when I just had one kid, and my wife was a big Lord of the Rings fan, and so we went over with her mum too, who looked after the baby, and I had to interview people for Nova.
Oh yes,
and and it was so old school. It was like, how old's my son? 21. So it was like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And so you're just sitting. All the stars, like Vigo, the Hobbits, Gandalf. They're all staying in the same hotel.
Yes, I was definitely at one of those in Wellington. I definitely went to the red carpet and watched. Oh,
really?
Yeah, it was a huge deal, and everyone, because Wellington doesn't get red carpets, and we definitely don't.
No, they had a parade down the street with horses and orcs and stuff. It was great. And anyway, it was before sort of mobile phones and the internet had really kicked off.
Yeah.
And I was interviewing one of the Hobbits, and I came out, and Liv Tyler was in the corridor just hanging out. And she goes, oh, what's going on downstairs? I said, oh, people just hanging out. She goes, should I go down there? I went, yeah, go on. Go down there and say hello to the fan. She goes, oh, really? Is it safe? I went, yeah. We're in Wellington. She goes, oh, okay. Anyway, I go and do another interview. I come out and the guy goes, yeah, there's been a bit of an incident. Liv Tyler's gone down there and been mobbed and we've had to call the police. Some idiot told her to go down there. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. So you're interesting, Ray, that you were a political advisor, weren't you?
Yeah, I did policy advice for the Department of Corrections. That was sort of my last big proper job, I'd say. Like the last full-time job I did before I went.
So prisons and stuff
like prisons and stuff like that. Yeah. Like the first things I worked on were about having an independent inspector of the New Zealand prison system. It was about how the privatisation should work. And then the main thing I worked on was like a Supreme Court case that occurred in New Zealand, which was about calculating sentence lengths and
pretty funny stuff.
Yeah, pretty cool. You can see why I drawn it so many times.
So how did you get into comedy?
I meant to do a joke about that job today. I forgot to do a bit. Oh, that's good to know. My show will be a little bit longer tomorrow night.
Definitely do a joke about it. But how did you get into comedy from that kind of... I'm trying to think of anyone in Australia that's worked in sort of policy...
Yeah, I don't know anyone...
The only person I've really met has been Hei Huan. Who studied that kind of stuff.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I know there are some guys who do it, but, like Nick Schuller is a comic.
Oh, Nick Schuller, I know Nick Schuller.
He works, anyway. But yeah, but because it was not necessarily directly the work itself, but doing that job, I didn't hate the work, but I hated waking up for an alarm. I hated having to go to an office, punch the clock, and I hated. And the other thing is, I sort of got this job almost straight out of uni. So I went from being this poor uni student to suddenly this, like, for what I felt was like a really well paid, bureaucrat. And suddenly I had no time and all this money and I couldn't spend it because I had no time. And I just hated that. And it was a thing of growing up and always being told that you're funny and stuff. And I had always kind of wanted to do stand up, and I knew I didn't want to do this. I wasn't really passionate about the job.
But that's quite to do that kind of job. You've got to be pretty smart. Oh, were your parents like doctors or something?
No. My mum, for the most part, growing up, she was like primary caregiver.
Right, yeah, like a housewife. We used to say.
Housewife. I was the political
domestic engineer. We used to say as a joke.
Housing technician. Yeah.
How many brothers and sisters did you have?
While I was growing up, there were 3 younger ones.
Oh wow! Okay. And a big family.
Yes. So mum, and also we grew up on a farm. So mum was like raising us, and then also helping look after the animals and rear.
So was your dad a farmer?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a huge farm, so it wasn't like. So I think it was like something.
Was that his main job, or?
He was also an engineer of sorts.
Yeah, okay. But see, you're going to be smart to do that.
But now he's like a rubbish truck driver and does other things. I don't know.
So he sounds blue collar to me.
Yeah. I would say, those guys fight. No, they're just wrestling. My dad. Yeah, I describe.
You're looking at misspent youth over there in the petrol station. We're in Perth. Anything could be going on in Perth. Oh, they got like a night window. Yeah. It's only 10 o'clock that night here, though.
Yeah, they're already
shut up. Yes. Please shut up. I hate those night windows. They're annoying.
Yeah, but yes. I'd say my dad's blue collar. That's definitely fair.
Yeah.
Well,
farmers. Yeah. There's quite a few farmers' kids in comedy. There's quite like Will Anderson, Des Dowling, Tom Gleeson. There's heaps of them. Limo. There's heaps of farmers' kids.
Yeah. And I'd say both mum and dad are from farming backgrounds.
Yeah, right.
And mum, she also. Then she she was I forget the role she did. She kind of worked in an accounting place, but she wasn't an accountant then. But now she is a manager at a NGO that provides counselling services for victims of sexual assault. So, not funny.
Not funny. Why would you bring that up on my podcast? No, that's a good job she's doing. I had someone ring me up and wanted me to do a gig for sexual assault counsellors, and I said, look, I reckon you should get a woman.
You should get a woman, absolutely.
Get a woman.
Yes, I was asked to do I still ended up doing the fundraiser. I don't think, mostly because the guy didn't.
Well, this wasn't even a fundraiser. It was a gig for the workers.
I was going to say you're taking money from them.
Oh, no good. No.
But yes, no, I was asked to do a fundraiser for a women's shelter, and I was like, obviously I support it and I'll do the gig, but it should be a woman headline.
Absolutely.
It feels,
absolutely.
But yeah, so mum, I guess I mean, she's kind of got the more classic, like, I guess, managerial white collar job now.
Yeah, sure.
But they're not together. But yeah, so that was their.
So that's interesting that you became a comedian.
Yeah.
Did they enjoy comedy in the house or watch shows? Or?
No, I was definitely, I think, pushed by me. I mean, like, I think my family is like a funny family. Everyone's funny, but they didn't love stand up certainly, and I think it was from me watching Friends and The Simpsons.
Well, there wasn't a lot of stand up on TV anyway.
Yeah,
they're more like sitcoms.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, in New Zealand, I think you'd see New Zealand stand up on TV once a year, which is the same in Australia. The gala,
The gala,
yeah, that was the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's different these days.
Yes, 100%. Yes,
and that's interesting.
Like, the first stand up special I saw was, I think it was Ellen DeGeneres's, and I was 13.
She was funny though.
Yeah, she was.
Really funny.
I think those early stuff is
really. I remember them. They were really funny.
Some of the greatest hours of observational comedy.
Oh, yeah.
And growing up, I mean, now she's a controversial figure, but the other figure I loved growing up when I was like really young. I guess my parents loved to watch this, and then I was into it when I was like 2 years old or whatever. Was the Michael Barrymore show or whatever. Michael Barrymore was the UK comic, and he hosted Kids Say the Darndest Things.
Oh, that was huge.
and maybe he had his own chat show or something as well.
Yeah. I remember that show. That was huge.
Yes,
they did an Australian version.
Yeah, yes. Oh, really?
Kids Say the Darndest Things. Yeah. That was 90s, I reckon.
Yeah. That'd be it. And when I was a kid, I'd say Mikey, because I wanted to watch Michael Barrymore.
I don't remember that guy, but I remember the show.
He was the one. I don't know if you'll remember this, but this is if you didn't
controversy.
If you didn't like what I brought up before on the podcast, I'm really bringing the mood down.
You're not Gary Glitter or Rolf Harris style.
No, I think he was found innocent or whatever, but he had a pool party and someone died at his pool party.
Oh god!
And that kind of sort of
ruined his career.
Yeah, either he chose to step back or no one. Yeah.
Yeah, right. The old death at the pool party.
Yeah, the death at the pool party.
Hard to come back from that.
Yes, and then he moved to New Zealand, and so I think he lived in New Zealand for a bit, because no one would bother him. We don't have a paparazzi culture in New Zealand.
Yeah, right.
Because everyone knows no one cares. And now I don't think he does comedy, but I think he just plays Fortnite all the time, and he uploads TikToks of himself killing people on Fortnite.
Oh, God, well, hopefully he's got some money stashed away. Sure. But that's what I've noticed about you. You are a big fan of comedy, and you love the history of comedy.
Yes,
because no other New Zealand comics come out, and there's quite a few of you guys here. All doing well.
Thank you for your jobs, by the way.
It's all right. But no one else asked me about Hey It's Saturday. You're the only New Zealand comic to say. Actually, Guy Montgomery has got a bit of a curiosity, I reckon.
Yes, he has. I think he definitely has a respect for the history and stuff. But I'm deeply interested in the history of New Zealand. I find the history of New Zealand comedy so interesting, and when did this gig run, and who were these people, and who was important, and when you first started doing gigs, who was around, and what were the gigs, and I find the Australian thing so also just as interesting, and I've had long chats with Tony Martin about it.
He knows everything.
Yes, he does.
Being a Kiwi, he knows New Zealand. I talked to him about music too, because my brother was in a New Zealand rock band in the 80s called the Hip Singles, with Dick Driver was the singer, who was a TV personality.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Dick Driver. You ask your dad or mum or someone older, Tony Martin's like, oh my God, he remembered the band. Alan Bro's another one who knows.
That's it.
Alan Bro, of course, he knows music well.
Yeah.
But, interesting. And so you just got into comedy because you just thought, you didn't like the 9-to-5 job.
And I did always just love comedy. Like, I do think that seeing that Ellen DeGeneres special sort of was like a thing of, this is a thing you can do as a career. And
that's often I never knew you could do it as a job. I'm a lot older than you, but I'm just like, I would see them occasionally. You'd see comics on Hey It's Saturday occasionally, but not often. You're like, is it like a job or what is that? Yes,
and I imagine it was like New Zealand as well, where, there's maybe Richard Pryor's stand-up special or Seinfeld, one of those big guys back in the day. And if you wanted to watch any other, you had to import a VHS.
Seek it out. Really seek it out.
Yes,
we had, and then we had Rodney Roode and Kevin Bloody Wilson, who were more your pub.
Kevin Bloody Wilson made it to New Zealand. Yes.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. He's got a Christmas song, and yes. But we had the same. Thing.
Oh, I met Rodney Roode at a lunch once.
Oh, really?
He's a really nice guy. I mean, Rodney Roode is a great performer.
Yeah.
Really great performer.
Yes,
and quite funny. Yes. Very funny.
Is he retired?
No, he still tours.
Oh, wow.
He still tours. So does Kevin Bloody Wilson.
Oh,
Kevin Bloody Wilson is now supported by his daughter, Genitalia. That's her name.
Oh,
that's actually, a comedy name, Genitalia. I've got to get my kids supporting me.
That's what I was going to say. Would you want that? Your kids to go on?
Oh, look, my wife always goes, they don't want to be comedians. Who'd want to be a comedian? I said, well, hang on a minute. I've done all right. We're living in a house. We've got a beach house. It's not that bad, is it? Being a comedian. And like you said, I mean, sure, you can work in a 9-to-5 job if you want to, but I worked in a 9-to-5 job, and I was like you. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, and
my mum's like, well, everyone works 9 to 5. She used to say everyone works 9 to 5.
Yes, I definitely remember being told as a kid, like, I mean, Mum tells me I'm remembering the story wrong, but that I used to help out, as a part-time job when I was growing up, help out a neighbour, a doctor at his place, and help clean up the farm and look after the animals and stuff.
Yeah.
And Mum always said, like, look at him, he's worked hard his whole life and now he can enjoy his retirement, he's got all these things. And I remember thinking, I don't want to work, my whole life and then at 65 I can enjoy myself. Like, that sounds like an absolute nightmare.
Yeah. And then they have a heart attack on the first day of retirement. Yeah, I mean, it can be hard. I mean, you've followed your joy and you've. Yeah,
and I'm lucky it's worked out.
Yeah, and you know what? How old were you when you started?
I was early 20s.
Yeah, that's the right time to start, I reckon.
I think it was kind of good that I had
a bit of life experience.
Yes, a little bit of life experience.
I think it's good to have had another job to realise that you're lucky to do this job.
Yes.
If you make a living, you're lucky.
Yes.
Because you got to remember what it was like to work in the office.
Yes.
And put in money for Sandra's birthday.
Yes.
And you have bosses too, like fucking bosses.
And have awkward chit chat at the Friday night drinks, and now, that's all behind me. Like there were
some things I liked about working in an office. So I don't know,
yeah, I mean, actually, like the people were lovely.
Yeah, that's the thing. Often the people are really good.
Yes, the first woman I met at the policy job, I was sat next to her, and she said, I was offered redundancy or to keep this job, and I chose to keep the job, and I wish I had been made redundant. And then she just spent all day looking on Seek for other jobs. And so, all right. But
I used to work with a woman who used to just sleep under a desk. She goes, "Don't tell I'm having a nap now. Don't tell anyone." It's like, it was in Seinfeld. I'm like, oh, that's ridiculous. I said, well, it used to happen in my office.
Yes,
when I worked
I had a friend who did that, and he was working for like a top law firm in New Zealand, and for maybe 2 weeks he didn't have a place to stay, so he just lived at his office and he was sleeping in the sick bay, and he had to
in the sick bay,
and he'd leave work and have to wait and make sure, and also lawyers, they work long hours, so you have to make sure everyone else is gone, and then you come back, and then
that's funny.
Yeah, I know.
So how long have you done comedy for, Ray?
I've done it. 10th August 2015 was my first gig.
Oh God, you've done well. It's about 8 years, 8 or 9 years.
Coming 9 years. So
you've done really well.
But I mean, when I look back at it, I'm like, when I started, and I didn't fully appreciate it at the time, but I was in a sort of golden age of New Zealand comedy on television. Like there was.
So you got a lot of TV stuff.
Yeah. So there was the Gala. There was this John and Ben, which was kind of like a Hamish and Andy knockoff thing, which also hired comedians. There's 7 Days. There was the The Project. We had another competing show with The Project, which also hired comedians. Funny Girl sketch show. Then we did our own Have You Been Paying Attention?
Yeah.
And so there was just all this, and there's not that many comedians in New Zealand. So, for the amount of TV work there was just, you were always either on TV or you'd be behind the scenes in some way.
Well, similar to when I started 35 years ago, there was a lot of jobs really for comedians on TV and radio.
Yes,
and like Mark Maron always said, in Australia, you're any good, you get your own TV show. And I mean, he was kind of right in a way that if anyone was, where's your hotel?
I think if you where that red sign is, I think if you want to go, like,
weird.
Yeah, so it's up there. I mean, I can get out and just go up the steps if you want. But if you could drive up to the front door, if you go like a right here, far right past, and don't drive through that bus depot, but but like into this where that.
Cool, I got it.
Yeah.
Now you're staying at a convention center or something.
Yes, it's right across from the convention center.
Bloody hell, it's very
But
yeah, that's interesting. And then you came to Australia.
Yeah, I was so lucky. Like I basically, I had done a lot of the TV shows in New Zealand. I did Taskmaster New Zealand, which is sort of I guess was the last main one I hadn't done. And mostly I wanted to just get really good at stand-up,
Yeah.
And Australia, you can gig so much more.
I saw some of that. The one where you're looking at your own photo, that Melanie's filming you looking at your own photo.
Oh, yes,
that was funny.
that's right. Yes, she got my flatmate to take a photo of me, and I was genuinely looking at myself. Yeah.
Oh, fine. I've done a gig here.
Oh, really? At the
in there.
This
Perth Convention Centre.
I thought you meant the hotel. So this is a lot more. That's a lot.
No.
But
oh wow, I'm getting memories. Yeah, I did an automotive group here.
Oh, yeah. Good gig.
Yeah, it was alright. Yeah, for what you're doing.
But yes, and then I was thinking I should move, and I had started to do Have You Been here in Australia, and I was like, well, it seems like if I go to London or New York or wherever, I'll have to start at the bottom and start grinding again, and I guess maybe I would, but I don't know if I'd have that in me, like. It's so hard to start again at the bottom of.
Yeah. You want to go and be with an agent and get good gigs.
Yes.
You don't do the shit ones.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Because you don't want to turn up and go, oh fuck, I've got to go and do this open mic. You want to go and do good gigs.
Yes. So I was so lucky that I,
because in Australia you didn't have to turn up and do open mics. You got good gigs basically.
No. Yeah. I mean, the very first gig I did a spleen. Which is a Monday night gig, and I think. My first episode of Have You Been was going to air, and I was kind of awkwardly introducing myself to the other comedians, going, "Oh yeah, hi, nice to meet you," while at the same time thinking like, "Oh, I'm on
TV.
I'm on your comedy. I'm doing a TV show right now that you guys would kill to be on." And I have to be like, "Oh, lovely to meet you." It was a weird dynamic.
Yes. What are you doing here? Oh, nothing.
Yeah,
I'm not doing nothing. I'm not doing a show.
Just thought I'd do a couple of gigs.
But most of the comics are pretty friendly, aren't they?
No,
really?
The great thing about, I mean, there have been some comics who've addressed why there's so many Kiwis over here.
Oh, yeah, no, I have.
Yes. But
on the Ding Dong Club.
Yes, I listened.
Wolfie.
I listened to that. It was
on tonight. I said, Wolfie, you should start up the WA thing. Like, from WA. But yeah, no, there are a lot of New Zealander comics doing well here.
Yes, and I suspect it's a big part of having to perform to terrible New Zealand crowds. I mean, forced to work really, really hard.
But they're all like
to make them laugh.
It's like the music that comes out of New Zealand. The hit rate for the population's incredible, really.
Yeah, we're very lucky.
Like, look at all the comics. There's you, Guy Williams.
Yeah, Guy Williams.
Guy Montgomery. Melanie.
Mel. Who else?
Oh, there's a guy that was on before me in the festival who's got bananas on his head in a.
Tom Sainsbury.
Oh, he's huge.
Yeah, he's huge. He'd have a following here now, I imagine.
Oh, massive!
And
he sold it every night.
Yes.
Don't know about Tom Sainsbury.
Chris Parker. He did Thank God You're Here last year. I'm trying to think who else.
Who's the one? Is that Guy Williams that goes to the Flat Earth conferences and stuff?
He's really funny. He's so funny. I think that TV show is phenomenal. There's a woman called Hayley Sproul who's done Have You Been a few times?
Yeah. There's heaps.
Yes, and she's doing Melbourne this year. And I think it's a combo of, we've seen others, others come through and been successful, like Ursula.
We've forgotten about her.
Yeah, I know, and she's the biggest one. She's like cracking.
Unbelievable.
She's breaking into America now. She's best friends with Amy Schumer.
Oh, she's in a movie.
Yeah, she's a star. It's a combo of what is it? We've sort of seen each other come over and realize, it's possible and feasible.
Yeah.
And then there's also just the collapse of the comedy industry back home. Like, it's not viable to stay in New Zealand.
No.
Whereas, like before, I used to basically make all my money via the TV industry.
Yeah.
And now there's none of that. All that's gone. And you can't make a living just doing stand-up in New Zealand.
No.
And so you kind of have to look further afield, and Australia's just right here.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. That's what that's what happens in Ireland. The Irish go to England.
Yes, exactly.
Make a living there. Yeah. I assume there's some people that could make a living in Ireland. Probably would be.
Yeah, and the other thing is actually, as you said on the Ding Dong Club, as you and Carl said, there's I think Carl said, why don't we go over to New Zealand, perform to 50 people and make $30? And that is the issue, is that you guys can't take it. You guys can't do the same back to us.
It can't go the other way, unfortunately. But that's all right. That's life.
Yeah, there's a few doing it, like Alex Ward and Emma Holland have done 7 days, and Britt Blake has done
Kitty
some.
Flanagan's.
Yes. Oh, she just toured.
She said she's massive in New Zealand.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah,
Luke Kidgell, you know Luke Kidgell?
Yes, Luke Kidgell. Yes,
he said, he goes, I'm big in New Zealand.
Yes, Luke Kidgell and Blake Pavey, who are both got massive through TikTok and stuff.
Yeah, Luke's been on this podcast.
Yes, they're both so well. Yeah, have I met Blake? Well, Luke's certainly.
I haven't met Blake. I've only met Luke.
But yeah, they were both touring New Zealand, and my friends were like, "Who are these guys? They're massive. They're in theatres that no New Zealand comedian could sell out.
I know.
Who are? We've never heard of them before.
I know, but that's the new world. That
exactly.
Facing,
yes.
Ray, you could crack the internet, I reckon.
Oh, thank you.
Anyway, we're here in Perth. We're both at the Oasis Comedy Club. Not that it matters, because by the time this comes out, we would have finished probably. I reckon. And you're working in a new show. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Had our first nights tonight. How did it go? First night.
It was good. It was definitely. I was worried it'd be completely fall over, and sort of return to the hotel with my tail between my
legs. Or you start doing your old stuff.
Yeah.
You get dry in the mouth and you go, anyway, what about, last time I came last year, I got to about 40 minutes. I went, oh, that's it. And I looked at my watch. I'm like, oh, fuck, 10 more minutes to go. I had to just start doing old stuff.
Yes, it was definitely a thing of like, oh, there are some really great bits in here and some bits I should really just sit down and extend out. Yeah. And then there are lots of bits that I'm like, oh, maybe either I need to throw out, you drop or the work's not, it's not there. And also because it was the new show and I'm working on the flow, there were, I think, segues were missing or it was a bit more disjointed. Yes. But
I just kept saying stuff like, this show's about meeting my heroes. It's about meeting my heroes. It's about, and also stuff that annoys me. I kept going. I had 3 through lines. What was the other one? And I'm an ideas man. I'm an ideas man, guys. But anyway, people when people just staring at you.
Yeah.
I'll do some jokes.
That's anytime you don't have a segue, just repeat what the theme of the show is.
Well, I mean, that's we got to get a catchphrase. That's like when Husey goes, "You're a really good crowd. You're a great crowd." Got to come up with something like that. And then we went and did a night in a pub.
Yes,
we just came from.
Yes.
And I was emceeing, and we had
So Wolfie, Georgie Carroll.
Thank God you remembered.
Yes, I did.
They're both great.
Yes. I said that. Well, we both saw Josh Gallant.
Unbelievable.
Yes, first time I've seen him do
I've never seen him before.
Yeah, first time I've seen him do a set. Like I saw him do a gala set once.
But he's unbelievable.
Yeah, it was so funny.
Because he's like a clown, though.
Yes.
That's clowning. He's been to Le Coq for sure.
Yes.
That's so funny. He went to, my brother used to work at a private school, and he went to the school. He goes, I used to know your brother.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Did your brother... oh, no, wait, no.
He's a tech. He's a technician.
Oh, yes. No, actually, no, Josh is... he says on stage he's 39. He's older than... He looks young. He looks great for his age.
I know. So my brother was at that school for 20 years. So he was there for a long time. But that's so funny. But he was I love that clown stuff and musical cues. And
I was just sitting there the whole time just going, how am I going to follow this?
Man, I hate following those guys because you're like, oh, that guy's got tricks.
Yeah.
And it's colour and movement.
Yes, you're like, now here's me talking.
Yeah, and you're sort of deadpan too. But no, you did fine.
Oh, thank you. No, it was a good gig. They
were a good audience, but you know what? What would be perfect is for the MC, that was me, to come on and just do some material. But the guy Pete running it's like, no, we got to. Everyone was running a bit late, so I had to pad before Josh got there.
Oh yes, yes.
The audience were fantastic.
Yes, both Josh and I were running from maybe other gigs.
Yes. There was this old guy sitting in the front, George, with a young woman, and everyone could see them.
Yes.
And I came on, I go, all right, I'm just going to say what everyone's thinking. What's the relationship here, guys? What is going on? I thought it was a father and daughter.
Yeah.
And she goes, I'm his supervisor at work.
What? That I was not guessing. I would
Ashley and George. And I said, what sort of work is it? And it's animal welfare.
Oh.
Animal rescue.
Did I say something on stage? I feel like at one point she was pointing at George. And I was
like, and you do think about animals?
Yeah, did I do an animal welfare bit? Maybe I did. I ended it with my joke about depressed dogs.
They would have loved it. Yeah. But it was so funny because she's like, "I'm taking George out. It's my birthday." She's a young woman.
Yeah,
it's my birthday and all. And when I started the second bracket, she wasn't there, and it got to about 20 minutes, and I go, "She's not coming back, George." But then she came back.
Whenever I see an older man and a young woman together in public, I do always think, what is this relationship? Is this a sugar daddy?
Of course. That's what we all think. That's what we all think. Don't worry. My daughter's 18 now, and so some guy said, "Who's the young woman?" I said, "That's my daughter. It's my daughter." Because people just look at you like you're some, sugar daddy. Okay, now we'll wrap it up because you've got to go. You've been up since 7, and it's bloody 2 a.m. in Australia, and Melbourne probably in Australia. We're in Perth. I ask everyone these questions. All right. So what went well tonight at the gig for you?
The one that we did.
Yeah, the one that we did together. Whatever.
What went well? I think. I guess I always did the old reliables, the mattress protector bit. I decided to try a new opening line, which was nice, and I felt like it went well,
That's good. A good opening is hard to find.
I agree, and
really hard.
The opener is so important, and I mean it feels stupid to say, but I feel like some comics really underrate how important. You need to get a laugh so quickly.
Oh, I reckon.
And the laugh and the way you need to get it, and it needs to establish who you are on stage to the audience.
Yeah, don't fuck around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why, I mean, I've always avoided saying hello to the crowd, so that way that's one word I don't have to
How's everyone go tonight?
Yes, that's all good.
Unless you're leading into a joke.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, some people should say it because if they're emceeing or...
that's fair enough.
Or if you're a bit more conversational style,
yeah.
but I'm a lot more, I don't know, alien almost, so I...
Yeah.
But I think, but some people, you watch
a good opener is fantastic.
But if you're taking...
When you see a good opener, you're like, oh, that is good. I love that. But it's got to reflect who you are and what you look like.
Yes, 100%, yeah. But if you're taking a minute and a half to get to that first laugh,
it's not good.
No, it's not. And because the crowd need to... Some of them, I mean, oftentimes, or they won't have any clue who you are.
Yeah.
And you've got to be convincing them, no, I am funny.
Yeah.
So you've got to do it so quickly.
It's true.
But yeah, I don't know, because I have a standard opening line, which I think tends to go okay, but I don't know, I had done this gig earlier and I just felt like, I don't know, maybe the energy was gone from it. Maybe I've been doing it too many times, it's not what it used to be. So
it can be. You can get tired in your head and the way you say it, I reckon, openers. Definitely. Any jokes can.
Yes, 100%. But yeah,
I've got to work on a new opener. I was trying to... oh, God.
But no,
I've been doing the one that'll look like a lesbian for a long time now. So.
But you've got so many solid lines. Mel and I always talk about how we did a gig with you, and I think you had just heard something on the radio like that day or something. And you already had a new bit about it. And
did I?
Yeah, it was the one about Dave was the new Karen or whatever.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah,
I think we may have seen the debut of it. And
yes,
and Mel and I were just so impressed. We were just like, this guy's just tuning.
Yeah, they did a survey and they found that the number one complainer on the internet giving 1-star reviews is David's, and that they said Dave is the male equivalent of Karen. Yeah. They said that in the newspaper. And I said, you know what I did? I got on that website and I fucking complained. Got stuck into them. What didn't go well?
What didn't go well?
Yeah.
I did wonder, did my joke about tipping, that didn't go so well?
Okay.
And then I'm thinking, like, in my solo show, I think the solo show, big issue, I mean, there were some bits I was really only doing for the second time ever, and it was a bit disjointed. And also, I forgot things, and so I had to look at my phone a couple of times, which feels so unprofessional.
I know, but what can you do?
I know. I just told them, like, talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, you've got to sometimes.
And I normally have such a good memory, so it's always a pain when that happens, because it interrupts the flow, and then suddenly...
I hate it when you come off and you look at your list and went, I forgot whole chunks.
Yes. And now I'm realising, I forgot a bit, so I'll try it tomorrow. Yes, yeah.
I said this. I said, "What's your favourite animal?" to the animal welfare. What about koalas? And she goes, "They're not native." I went, "Yeah, I think they might be." But then this guy told me they don't have koalas in WA.
Oh,
they don't have them here.
That's crazy.
And everyone laughed, and I said, "I think they might be." Like putting her down in Ashley's knowledge of the animal world. I feel bad now.
That's so funny. You taking on the animal welfare.
I know.
What would you know?
And then I said to this guy, "What's your favourite animal?" And he goes, "Black cockatoo." And I go, "They're quite rare, aren't they?" He goes, "I saw one today." And again, they're only a WA thing. I didn't even know. I fucking no idea about the animals of WA. They've got their own animals here.
There's a whole different ecosystem.
Whole other world.
Someone just told me it's the most isolated city in the world.
Yeah, that's true.
And I believe that 100%.
That's true. That's why they turn out good music and comedy, because they've got nothing else to do here.
They are. The Fringe is genuine. I feel... I mean, I've only done it twice now, but they do feel like they turn out for it and like...
Oh, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's really good. And were there any organisational hazards that got in the way? What did you think of the setup of the room and the...
Oh, the setup of the room. Maybe I'll be honest. I don't love cabaret seating or seating where people have tables. Yeah, so I don't.
Oh, mate, George was eating a whole bloody pasta during me at the start. I'm like, hey, you gonna finish, George, or what's going on, mate?
That is a bad.
And then Rocco. He's buzzed to get his food, and he got up and walked on stage to get his calamari, and then he brought it back, and he goes, "Do you want some?" I ate some. I nearly choked on stage. I had to bring on Georgie Carroll because I was honestly nearly. Yeah, that's what I said. Thank God she's a nurse. I nearly fucking choked. And how can we do better next time?
Sorry, cabaret city I hate. And also maybe the room was a bit too well lit.
No, it was well lit, wasn't it? You could see everyone.
You could see everyone, which sometimes is nice because if you feel like you're not going well, sometimes you look at it and you go, oh no, everyone's smiling and enjoying themselves. You know.
But you also see people just staring at you.
Yes, like, you get the opposite.
They've wandered into the wrong place.
Yes, and you zero in on them.
And how can we do better next time?
How can we do better?
You know what? Go on earlier for us.
Yes, absolutely.
Run the gig at 6 p.m.
Yes.
So it's fucking 9 in Melbourne.
Yes. Put me on before Josh Glantz.
Yes.
Let Josh close.
Why didn't he headline?
Yeah, I think maybe just because he does sketch and who knows?
Man, I'm never following him.
Yes.
I'm never. Mental note.
Yes.
I mean, you did well, but I remember once I did the gala.
Yeah.
Right. And I'd done the gala quite a few times as a comedy festival gala, but I just had a kid. Well, my wife had the kid. I was really tired.
Yeah.
And I did Rove the night before. I killed Rove. I just I did like a spot being interviewed, and I got my mum up to do my ironing or something. It was really fun. I was really, one of those, it's classic. Anyway, I had to do the gala, and I had to follow Dimitri Martin.
Oh, Dimitri Martin.
First time in Australia.
Oh, right? He's huge. Yeah.
Oh. He plays the guitar, he does one-liners, and he's good-looking. And I'm literally standing by the side of the stage, and I said, so who's on before me? Dimitri Martin. I go, I've never heard. This was years ago, like 20 years ago. Yeah. He walks on, fucking hell, kills it, plays the guitar. And here he is, Dave O'Neill. Oh, fucking, my spot didn't make it to air.
Oh.
But we've all followed people that,
yes,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure, I mean, I don't know what Melbourne's like, but I think at least the New Zealand gala, they try and put all the musical acts sort of towards the ends of halves and things like that. So I
think they try and schedule it as well as they can, but I mean, maybe they didn't know how fucking good he was. I would have, if I'd known, I would have said, "Oh no, put me on before him, please." Anyway, that's life. Ray, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, it's great to have you.
Yes, yes, we've been chatting about this a while.
Yes, I wanted you to do it, and I was going to pick you up and take you to Garfield, but then I got sick.
You got sick, yeah, that was.
Yeah, I was sick actually. I can't remember what was wrong with me. I was really sick though.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I was. Was it COVID? No, it wasn't COVID. It was something like that. Oh, I can't remember. I just remember lying in bed thinking, thank God I'm not doing that gig because I would have just got other people sick, Bad flu, I think it was.
You'd killed Dave Talk.
So Tolkien was on, that's right. And Billy Stiles.
Billy Stiles, yeah.
Regular, both of them appeared on this podcast. Yeah. Thanks, Ray. Go and see Ray if you're in any of the states. He's doing everywhere, I assume.
Oh, yes, I'll be all over Australia, but thank you. Go see Dave O'Neill.
Oh, thanks, Ray. All right. The debrief, we're signing off. It's about 4 a.m. in our time. Oh, I'm tired.